Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. We like to get into some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, always.
And today we're going to be talking all about self-esteem.
Okay.
Now, this deep dive, we are looking at the work of Teru Nakashima.
Oh,
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
yeah,
He runs the Self-Affirmation Academy
right.
over in Japan.
Interesting.
So we're tapping into some real expert advice here
Yeah, for sure.
on self-esteem. And some of the stuff he talks about, I think, is so simple,
Mm-hmm.
but can really have a profound impact.
Yeah, I mean, so much of this self-help stuff can get really complicated.
Right.
But sometimes it's the simple things that are most effective.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're going to get into today. So
Okay.
what's so interesting about Nakashima's work
Yeah.
is that he doesn't pretend like we're all supposed to have this perfect, unbreakable self-esteem.
Right.
He actually acknowledges that it fluctuates
Yeah.
and it goes up and down.
Which I think is important to acknowledge, right, like, we're all human.
Absolutely.
We have good days, we have bad days.
Yeah.
Our self-esteem is going to go up and down.
For sure. And we all have those days where we just feel blah,
Ah, right.
like just unmotivated. Even the simplest tasks
Absolutely.
feel really overwhelming. And Nakashima is saying, hey, this could actually be
Yeah.
a sign that your self-esteem is kind of taking a hit.
Like, pay attention to that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're feeling that way, maybe your self-esteem needs a little boost.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Now, he goes on to talk about this concept of self-usefulness.
Oh, interesting.
And this is really what I think is so fascinating.
Okay.
And he's saying that this is actually
Yeah.
like a key to stabilizing your self-esteem.
So it's not just about like being busy all the time
Yeah.
or like, constantly being productive.
Exactly.
It's something else.
It's about feeling useful.
Okay.
It's about creating situations where you feel valuable and useful.
I like that.
And so he gives this example
Okay.
that's so unexpected.
Yeah. What is it?
He says, think about when you're in a public restroom,
Okay.
right? You wash your hands.
Yeah, of course.
What if you just took an extra,
Yeah.
like 30 seconds
Mm-hmm.
and wiped down the sink
Okay.
after you're done?
Huh.
And he says, on the surface, that seems like such a tiny little thing. It's
Yeah.
like, who really cares?
Right.
But he's arguing that it's these small acts
Mm-hmm.
of service that can really make a big impact on how you feel about yourself.
I mean, I can see that
Right.
because it's like you're taking the initiative.
Yeah.
You're doing something for others,
Yes.
even though it's a small thing.
Even if no one notices it.
Right.
And it might even seem a little silly.
Yeah.
He's saying there's something powerful there
Right.
about taking that action. And then he even goes so far as to say, like, give yourself a little mental pat on the back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. Like, not in a, like, egotistical way.
Yeah.
But just to acknowledge.
It's your own positive contribution. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're building up this reservoir. I see. Of good feelings about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're reinforcing that behavior, right?
Exactly.
By giving yourself that little reward.
Yeah. And so it makes you wonder if by focusing on these outward actions, right, these acts of self-usefulness, if we're actually tapping into something deeper.
That's a good question.
Like psychologically, could it be that we are wired to feel good
Potentially.
when we contribute to something beyond ourselves?
I mean, it makes sense, right?
It does.
Like from an evolutionary
Yeah.
standpoint, like
Right.
we need to cooperate to
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it feels good to help others.
Right.
Because it's like we're contributing to the group.
Absolutely.
And that makes us feel good at ourselves.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment, but it's about cultivating
Yeah.
this deeper sense of self-worth
Yeah.
through these actions.
I like that. And
It's like you're building something up
yeah, exactly.
over time.
And Nakashima goes on to say that this feeling, this sense of self-usefulness,
Yeah.
can actually make us more resilient
Oh, how so?
when we face challenges in our lives.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you already have this foundation
Yeah.
of feeling valuable and capable,
Mm-hmm.
then you're much more likely to approach those setbacks
For sure.
with a sense of like, okay, I can handle this,
Yeah.
rather than I'm a failure.
Totally.
Right.
It's like you have that inner strength
Yes.
to draw on.
To fall back on. Exactly.
Right, when things
Right.
get tough.
And then he emphasizes that taking control of your life
Okay.
and treating yourself with kindness
Right.
are also essential
Yeah, I mean,
to boosting that sense
Yeah.
of self-usefulness.
it all ties together, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like if you're not taking care of yourself, if
Right.
you're not being kind to yourself, it's hard to feel useful and valuable.
Exactly.
So it's like all these things work together.
Yeah, like a positive feedback loop.
Right, exactly.
The more we act in ways that make us feel valuable,
Yep.
the more we believe in ourselves, and the more we can face
Yeah.
life's challenges with confidence.
And then that gives you more reason to be kind to yourself,
Exactly.
to take control of your life.
It's all connected.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know about you, but this whole idea of self-usefulness has really given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I mean, it's so simple, but it's so profound.
It is.
And I'm curious to hear from you.
Yeah.
What small act of self-usefulness are you going to try today?
Ooh, that's a good question.
How do you think it's going to shift your perspective on yourself?
I'm going to have to think about that.
Well, let us know.
Yeah.
In the comments or wherever you're listening to this.
Sounds good.
And we would love to continue this conversation.
Yeah, this is a really fascinating topic.
And until next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.
All right, take care.